Welcome to Violin Adventures number 273. This week is a special week, prep for Passover, but we get a good look inside a plywood cello. We reveal what's inside a plywood cello. There's also a check at the bees. Hope you enjoy. Okay, we're here with this plywood cello, the one that had a big nest in it, and I've wiped it down real well with Clorox wipes, so this is stained. But I thought while I was cleaning it, this is a great opportunity to discuss plywood cellos, and if you're looking for a cello, how you can tell if it's plywood or not. Because you want to make sure you don't get a plywood cello. So let's remember, first off, the top needs to be made of spruce and the back needs to be made of maple. So I'm going to show you up close what spruce looks like and what this looks like. And these are the grains in the spruce, or sometimes it can be pine, but you want to see those grains. And then on the back, the maple usually has some flame in it, like this. Can be wider or not as much. And the ribs have flame too. Okay, now let's go look. Here on this plywood cello, you see there's no lines going down. In fact, this would look more like maybe a maple top. But we don't ever want a maple top. You want a spruce top. Now, how can you tell if it's plywood? Well, here's one way to tell, is to look at the sound hole or look at the F hole, and if you can see layers in the wood, let's see. I can see layers right in here, very thin layers that have been glued together. Another thing to look for is to look at the purfling, and you see how this is drawn on. You don't want any instrument where the purfling is drawn on. And this one is very easy to see. That's just a pen that's gone around. Now let's go look at real purfling. So here on this violin, this is real purfling that's been inlaid. Okay, here again you see a spruce top. This is a violin. And you can see that this is all inlaid. And when it's drawn on, you can usually see through the purfling. You can see that this is inlaid. And we go back to this and you can see this is just drawn on. So those are two things to check for. Check for layers of wood. Check for drawn on purfling. And of course you can see this is not a spruce top. There's no lines in the grain going down. This is just little slabs of wood. By plywood, you can see they're just little layers of wood that are glued together. So your instrument can't vibrate, it can't respond. Another thing you'll see is you can see little chips here on the fingerboard because this is not real ebony. You can see down here where the paint is chipped off, this is not real ebony. So if we were to clear this off, this is probably just a really cheap piece of pine, or who knows what kind of wood is under there. Okay, the same with the pegs. These are just painted to look like ebony. So that's another thing you can see when you're looking at an instrument, is check the pegs, see if there's any chips, and you can see through that that's just painted wood. It's very cheap wood. Alright, I also want to show you on the inside how quickly and poorly these instruments are made. So first off, you can see the lining here, and they've just ripped it. They haven't sanded it or made it smooth. They've just ripped it and thrown it into the cello. And as you've seen in the other videos, we make separate pieces. We stop here, Then we make another piece and stop here. Well, here they just threw in one long piece all the way around. Well, that adds weight and unnecessary bulk. And then of course you have this kind of thing that can cause noises and rattles inside your instrument. You can also see how sloppy the work is. This again is just rough cut wood thrown in here and the glue slathered on and not cleaned up. And you can see also that is not hide glue. That is some kind of probably wood glue. Here again, the glue is seeping out all around this bass bar. At least it has a bass bar, but look at the mess of the glue. And here again, this is the wrong kind of glue. This is probably wood glue. Here you can see how sloppy the wood is. All these chips are just left. And as you saw me take this down to the creek and wash it in the creek, and it did not open the seams at all. The block and everything is still intact. Okay, well this is doing much better. I cleaned it off with Clorox rags and it's really improved. So that's good. And I've got a couple ideas for this cello. But while I think about that, this week is Passover and starts a week of unleavened bread. And so we are going to go up and do a cleaning, especially in the kitchen, to get rid of all leaven. And we do this for 1 week. It's not only good for you as a great spring cleaning time, but it's good for you mentally and spiritually and physically to just clean out for 1 week, have no leaven in the house. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to start in the pantry and then go into the kitchen and clean out the leaven. All right, we're up here in the kitchen. I'm donning an apron and we're going to start with the pantry. And it's a lot of fun. You just do as much cleaning as you can handle. The basics are basically the kitchen. We got to get it free of leaven. So let's start here in the pantry. Okay, right off you can see there's a lot of crackers and cookies and flour products. So I am going to start with that shelf and just eliminate everything. Got that all cleaned out. Cookies and crackers. Right here is some overflow cookies. Let's get them out. Okay, just like that, this little section is finished. I'm going to go get another bag and we'll start on the next section behind me. Okay, what I'm leaving here is carob chips, flaxseed, and this is all carob chips and carob. We have carob powder. So that looks good, but I see right here some more cookies. I do have a lot of cookies and crackers, but I tend to go shopping like once every 3 months is my goal. Okay, that shelf is done. Below here is matzo ball soup, which is okay. It's kosher for Passover. We also have matzo meal, which I got specifically for Passover. I've got matzah, which is unleavened bread. So I'm going to put this in place of where the cookies and crackers were. Let's see what else. Oh, here we go. We've got some more flour. This has to go. On this shelf here is mostly jams and almond butter, nuts, raisins, pickles, and pickle relish, so that's all fine. Here's some dates. Found some cheese straws. Those will have to go. that is just a chance to get things organized again. Here's another bag of flour. It has to go. Okay, that's 3 shelves all finished. It looks like we've got 2 more shelves with leaven on them that need to go. Okay, the pantry is completed. You can imagine I got sidetracked and I thought, come across, what's this? Where did that come? Why is that there? What's the date on this? Anyway, got it all cleaned out and then now it's ready for Passover. It's a great feeling. Okay, next comes the refrigerator. Here it is presently. Let's get to cleaning. Let's get all the leaven out. Okay, I'm gonna start a shelf at a time just so that the cold stuff doesn't get too warm. Here it is. After a few interruptions, we finally got this refrigerator finished. So we're ready for the Passover week of unleavened bread. A look at the bees. They're strong and healthy. Everything is well. They made it through the winter and they're very, very busy. And since I'm a little under the weather this week, I won't be reading the story of Paganini, but hopefully we can start up again next week. The Hebrew Minute. Oseh Eretz Bikocho Mikin Tivel Bahakmota Uvit Bonato Nata Shemaim. He made the earth by his power. He established the world by his wisdom, and by his understanding or discretion, he stretched out the heavens. If you know where this is found, please leave it in the comments below. Here it is, a beautiful spring day. The birds are singing. It's nice, lovely green. Here's some plants that have been started. Are very happy. Let's go inside and see what's happening in the shop. Here in the shop you can see all the peas are all cleaned. Here's the cello still drying. And next to it here is the violin. It has one coat of varnish on it. Here's our plywood cello that is starting to look a lot better. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your wonderful comments. Thank you for the thumbs up. And thank you to the new subscribers. And until next time, bye.